But who better than me?
Welcome back to another Base Talks, and this one is a very, very special one for me. It's not any particular fighter, but this is my guy, one of my closest friends, especially in this whole boxing world, ADÉ OLADIPO. For those of you who know, I actually got my start on Adé's channel back in 2020. So that was the first time anyone saw this face. So yeah, he was the catalyst. As many of you should know, he's the reason I have a channel. It wasn't something I ever planned to do, but he's the person that told me you need to create your own channel. Like, the knowledge you have, it deserves its own platform as opposed to just going on other people. So that's how this all took place. Now, I had a chance to chop it up with him at the Fury versus Usyk press conference. I'm gonna be real, felt a little different because I'm normally used to answering his questions as opposed to me asking him questions to answer, but it was a good exchange. I'm looking forward to getting back to see the green chair. Suppose it's maybe some other interesting stuff that he's got planned. He's got some big news dropping shortly, which as soon as he reveals it, I can give him his full accolades, but like, he knows I'm all about the praise for him and, you know, what he's achieved and the places he's going in his life and his career. So much respect to him. Check out the interview me and him done. Hope you enjoy it. Leave your comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, and anything and anyone in between. But until now, check out the interview. This is Base the Kid, the hardcore casual, and I'm delighted to be joined by my guy, ADÉ OLADIPO. It's been a while, Adé. How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Excited for where we are right now in boxing. I mean, I know you probably saw my tweet where like we didn't get AJ Wilder, we didn't get Fury 6. Boxing's rubbish. It's not rubbish. We've had a decent year, some really good fights, and this is it, isn't it? I mean, nothing bigger than the undisputed heavyweight title fight, number 1 versus number 2. Like, this is it's that, isn't it? So excited. We're here, not December 23rd, but at least it isn't too far in the future. February's 9 weeks away. February 17th. It's close, isn't it? 9-10 weeks. So yeah, I'm excited.
So speaking of obviously where we are now in this press conference, so do you feel like with Tyson Fury being as off the cuff and random as he is, and Usyk with his broken English but being able to understand bits and pieces, it went as well as could be expected, or was it a bit more of a, for lack of a better word, clusterfuck?
Almost in the middle. It certainly wasn't a clusterfuck, but it wasn't peak press conferences, just because Fury was at his best, but then it has to go for a translation to get to Usyk, and then it loses it. So it wasn't the greatest. And look, Usyk does speak English. It's broken, but it's English. And I would have preferred him just to go for it and say what he could say. But you're never beating Tyson Fury verbally, regardless of who you are. I mean, Jarrell Miller's not beat. No one is. So it was always going to be tough for Usyk. But that's almost the starter, the hors d'oeuvre. We've got the main course coming soon. So I don't really necessarily care about it. Like, this fight doesn't need to be sold. If you're a boxing fan, you're tuning in, and I think the casuals are tuning in as well. So it isn't one of those press conferences that require something crazy to happen, because it's an undisputed, it's the biggest crown in boxing. And if you have to be sold in a press conference, then maybe you're watching the wrong sport.
Well, speaking of obviously people not being able to necessarily beat Tyson, war of the words, Usyk's almost like Usyk wins with his actions and sort of his mannerisms, and Fury wins the verbals. So in that sense, when they did the face-off, you know, Tyson's tried to stick the nut on him a little bit to impose his size. Usyk has not really moved back. I think Tyson was expecting him to back off more than he did. How do you think that whole thing in the face-off shaped up?
I think Fury was surprised, because again, Fury, for want of a better word, is the bully out here, isn't he? He's the biggest heavyweight. He's 20 stone. He's 6'8", whatever it's 6'7", whatever he is. And Usyk's not that. And I think Fury tried to almost belittle him, saying, "I'm going to bully you." And Usyk's like, "No, you're not. You're not bullying nothing. Like, I'm the undisputed cruiserweight champion, unified heavyweight champion, pound for pound, top 5. You're not bullying me." I love that. I love it. I think Fury's been able to bully his way around people for too long. He didn't do it against Ngannou, and he didn't do it here today. He knows he's in a fight. He knows Tyson Fury knows how good Alexander Usyk is. He's not silly. And I know he said that he always wanted this fight. I don't know if he always wanted it. I just felt like the money was so big, it's like, all right, let's do it anyway. Usyk's no joke. You know, Base. I mean, you know your boxing. Alexander Usyk is incredible. And yes, he's a bit smaller, but I look at him, he ain't that small. I mean, you know, people talk about him like he's still like the tiniest guy. This guy is 16 stone, 6'3". That's a heavyweight. I mean, that's go and Google, people, go and Google how much George Foreman weighed. He's a big heavyweight, Alexander Usyk now. It's just that Fury's a giant, so yeah, I don't know, about this one, I don't know, Base. I feel like Fury should, but I would not be surprised in the slightest if Alexander Usyk beats Tyson Fury.
Well, look, I mean, there was loads of evidence, if people want to look through it, of Tyson Fury saying he's never had any interest of fighting him. Although he will say, well, it's because he won't get any credit for it. But I feel as if it doesn't matter whether the guy is smaller than you. He's got more belts than you have right now. So ultimately, you're going to get the credit. And it's all about, sometimes they say you can't worry about who it is you're fighting. You just have to fight who's in front of you. He's got the prize, obviously the money involved. It just makes it a much bigger thing. But with regards to that now, so let's move away from this one for a moment. Yesterday, we had Day of Reckoning. I didn't get a chance to really speak to you about that one. But in terms of that card, what fights on that card really sort of get the juices going for you? It may not have all the fights everyone wanted, but which ones are you like, you know what, I'm invested in that one, and that one?
About 5. I'll be honest with you. I think Dubois, Jarrell Miller is random, but at the same time, almost exciting.
That's my favourite too.
It's exciting, isn't it? Because I almost don't know how that fight's going to play out. I have no idea. Is it Jarrell Miller of old? And I think people forget, Daniel Dubois, I mean, go and watch the first 5 rounds against Usyk. Dubois there. Dubois, again, a bit like Usyk, verbally, not much. Get in the ring, he goes for it. Yes, I understand the quitting things, but he goes for it. So I think the first 5 or 6 rounds of that fight are very interesting. Very interesting. I want to see how Lyndon Arthur does against Dimitri Bivol. It's a big ask for Lyndon Arthur, but you never know, right?
So speaking of Lyndon, the limping yesterday, you saw that. Is that a concern?
Of course, because it means you're not really ready to fight. But you take the fight because the money's so good and it's a world title opportunity on the biggest card we've seen in years. I understand how you take it. Let's see on that one. Let's see if someone else doesn't come in. Because I saw it, you saw it. I'm guessing whoever's doing the medical saw it. So I do wonder if Lyndon will actually fight. I hope he does. I hope he gets the opportunity and it's just a bit of cramp, maybe. Right? Maybe it might be that. But yeah, I saw it and that's a bit concerning because if you're not 110% against Dimitri Bivol, forget it. Forget about it. Otto and AJ scares me. Can't lie to you. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. It does. A southpaw who's super confident. What he said about AJ as well almost touched a nerve about AJ not being at his peak since 2018. You're like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here, brother. I think Parker Wilder is not a foregone conclusion because Wilder's 1 round in 2 years, dude. How can you be the best at what you do? And imagine, okay, what we're doing right now. Imagine you haven't done this for 2 years and you got. I don't care how good you were before. 2 years is 2 years. So, and Joseph Parker's this will be his full fight this year. So, yes, opposition's not Wilder, but still getting busy in the ring. So, yeah, Aslan Makhmudov versus Agit Kabayel. Makhmudov is the scariest heavyweight I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, and JL Patel. Bro, this card mad, bro. When you're saying the names like this, and I know some of the fights aren't what we want, but JL Patel as well. Good luck to Zorro. You got to take the fight. But Opataya is a killer. Is an absolute killer. So yeah, there's so much to look forward to.
No, like you, Jarrell Miller and Daniel Dubois is probably my fight of the night. That's the one I'm looking forward to most. But I think Arslanbek Makhmudov and Agit Kabayel for me is going to be the most intriguing man, because Makhmudov is a guy who pretty much is always having someone in front of him. It's easy to track down his targets. They're not really movers. Kabayel is the antithesis of what he would as a fighter. So to me, it's going to be interesting. Can he navigate that particular that dimension and those angles that Kabayel's going to try and shoot? So yeah, to me, that's my favorite one. With regards to, as you was talking about there, just Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder, I feel as if that might be the most, if not the most evenly matched, it's the closest to it, just for the fact of both former world champions. And as you said, Joseph Parker's been extremely active this year and Deontay Wilder hasn't, for whatever reason. What did you think of, like, the presser, like the mindsets or the way that people were moving in the presser yesterday? How did that sort of take you?
I have to be honest with you, it didn't really, I don't think it got moving until Jarrell Miller started speaking. Everyone else was kind of just your cliche answers. Everyone happy to be there. Thank you, His Excellency. Everyone's making sure they're ticking that box, right? When Jarrell Miller got on the mic, I was like, okay, he's going to go for everyone here. And look, he's been out of the ring, well, not been out of the ring, but in terms of being away from the limelight for a few years because of what happened. So I think he kind of took it up, and I don't know how we don't get AJ Miller 2.0. Like, it's just there. It's there. If for whatever reason we don't get AJ Wilder and Miller runs through Daniel Dubois, I think it's a big fight now. AJ Miller 2, I think it's a big fight. And then you got to find the face-off they did as well, because that I heard was electric and no one saw it. So yeah, it was an intriguing press conference. Again, it was only put together in a couple of days. We saw all the fighters getting ready and everyone was getting on planes. So I feel like everyone was a bit tired, a bit jaded. I heard they were with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh early in the morning, from like 7, 8 in the morning. So by the time they got to the press conference, they were clearly flat. But all in all, I think it was okay.
Speaking of yesterday, actually, with AJ, do you feel he almost felt a bit like set up? Whereas you've got Jarrell Miller there, you've got Deontay Wilder there, you've got Joseph Parker, who he's fought before, you've got Otto Wallin, who he's about to fight, you've got Hrgovic, who he possibly could fight next. Like, there's just a lot of ops there, and there's him. And then it's like him and Eddie, but almost like Eddie is not in the position in that particular moment that he would expect to be in. Do you think Joshua thought to himself, do you know what? I have to show these, man, like, don't think I'm sweet just because there's a bunch of you here. Like, remember who I am and what I've done, kind of thing.
Maybe. I mean, we're used to seeing Eddie and AJ dominate the presses, right? Eddie opens it. AJ is almost like the king that walks in. And unfortunately, on that stage, it wasn't that way. Frank's there, Wilder's there, do you know what I mean? Some big names are there. And then there's Dev in the middle, who AJ clearly doesn't like. And Dev was surprised. I'm like, why are you surprised? You tweet some shit about AJ sometimes. He's clearly seen it, or someone from his team has seen it, so he's going to do that kind of attitude towards you. But maybe, look, I even asked AJ after, like, who's main event? Because you probably saw the walkouts and Wilder walked last, which would suggest to me, is that the main event? So I was a bit confused. So even that needs to be ironed out, because, look, to be fair, Wilder versus Parker is champion versus former champion. Sorry, former versus former champion. So it makes sense as that main, but it'd be so weird to see AJ not be the main attraction. But, I mean, money talks. And if you have to walk second for an extra couple of mil, you walk second for an extra couple of mil, you know. But I'm just excited. I'm excited. I think boxing's been good this last 12 months. I mean, Shakur Stevenson's fighting tonight. No one's talking about it. You know, I'm going to reel off some of the fights. I'm sorry, I've got to do it. Chantel Cameron versus Katie Taylor 2. It's not that bad, is it? You got Inoue going undisputed. You got Bam versus Sonny, unification fight. You got Prograis jumping up weight to fight Haney jumping up weight to fight Prograis. Yeah, people say it's been a bad year, and I'm like, really? Any year that gave me Spence Crawford's a good year, because that's the one we've all been waiting for, and I was lucky to be there. So it's a good year. Finally, Dimitri Bivol fights again. So I think it's been good. People will complain. We as boxing fans always complain because there is no structure to boxing. It is literally you wake up and there's a fight being made. But I think it's been a good year, and I think as long as now the Saudis are involved, it looks like we're going to get big fight after big fight after big fight. I did speak to Spencer Brown, who's obviously Tyson Fury's manager. I'm like, are we only focused on the heavyweights, or are we going to do the smaller weight classes? And he did say there's something special coming with guys not named heavyweights. I'm like, okay, interesting. Might have to get a house near Abu Dhabi and fly in on that again, you know? But no, this is good times, Base. This is good times.
You know, it's funny, you're a true pro, because there was a couple of things I was going to ask you. You just reeled them off.
I'm not joking. I'm like, no, I'm not the best.
No, but one of the things, like you said, we do have to just establish which is going to be that final fight. Maybe it doesn't matter, but maybe psychologically that might be an issue between, obviously, AJ and Wilder, who goes in first and who goes in last.
I don't think it should, but to fighters, it matters. Like, being around these fighters, they care their music's played last. They care about all this stuff. Trust me, when you speak to them, you ask the questions, and like, who cares who walks to the ring first? They care. So AJ will 100% care if he is chief support to Deontay Wilder, to the point where I don't know if AJ will go. I think it's that big. So look, we'll see. But let's hope as much as I like Otto Vollen and I love Joseph Parker, we need to see AJ Wilder. So let's hope they both come through it. And you know who I'm really intrigued about? Ngannou. I'm really, really, really intrigued as to who he fights next. I think I know, but I can't say. I think I know, I can't say. But I can't say. Don't ask.
Okay, I will take your lead, I won't. But listen, it's been great talking to you, as always. We will speak again off camera so we can set something up.
Set something up for the green chair.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well done on your channel as well, growing, subscribers. Takes time, but you'll get there, brother. You're doing what you're doing, so congratulations.
Appreciate that, Ade. Speak soon, bro. So yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to getting back to the green chair where I can be asked some questions and answer them, as opposed to asking them myself. But yeah, it's always a good conversation with Ade. To be honest, most of the time we speak off camera, so this is probably the first time in, I would say, about 8-9 months that we've actually done anything on camera. But yeah, as I said before, always got a lot of love for Ade, and the journey is amazing, and I wish nothing but future and continued success for him. And when that news drops, I think you guys will as well. But for right now, that's enough from me. Again, like and subscribe, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the content. Leave your comments down below. Anything else, give us a shout. But for right now, it's another Base Talks in the bag, and hopefully we will get to more of them soon. But until next time, peace.